Good morning, children. Now we come to the second part of the chapter, the two stories of flying. The next one is the black aeroplane. The last class we have studied about his first flight. How confident he was, that particular seagull, when it comes to the matter of hunger. He took that courage to fly and get his food. Now next is also a story about a man, a little mystery, little adventurous. Let us see and find out read and find out what is it all about. The moon was coming up in the east behind me and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. So this man is somewhere up in the sky. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone up above the sleeping countryside. So perhaps he is flying the aeroplane and it's almost night, and he says there is stars are there, the sky is very clear, there are no clouds in the sky. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So he was in France flying back to England to his house. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. So what was the time? It was 1:30 in the morning, and he was flying to his from France to his country, England. I should call Paris control soon, I thought, as I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane. Nose means to the steep end of the aeroplane. I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS 088 here. Can you hear me? So he is telling that this is Paris control, and this is Dakota DS 088. Okay, here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. So this is what he wanted to give the message, and he has given to where? It is to the Paris control. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS 088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS 088, over. So she is giving the message back to him that to take the way to England, he has to turn 12 degrees west. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So now he switched on to his last tank of the fuel when he is flying the aeroplane, and he turned 12 degrees west as the instruction given by the lady from the Paris control room, and then he proceeded towards his way to England. I will be in time for breakfast. I thought, a good big English breakfast. Everything was going on well. It was an easy flight. So he was happy that he will have his breakfast with his family, and he says everything was good, everything was fine, and it was an easy flight. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. I saw the clouds, storm clouds. So when he has left Paris, he could see the storm clouds in front. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. So 1:30 in the morning, when he started, he saw that the sky was clear. Now when on his way to England, he sees that there are storm clouds in the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them. I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to north or south. So he is flying towards west to take his way to England. Now because there are storm clouds, now he says there is no enough fuel for me also in my plane that I could take another way, or he could take a longer distance and go. I ought to go back to Paris. Now he has to go back to Paris. He had no other choice. He was thinking, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. Now he was very much determined. Now see, ready to accept the challenge. So though he knows that there is no much fuel in the tank, and then that the storm clouds are seen in front. Now, what is that one thing he wants? That I want that breakfast with my family. So I will proceed. I will take the risk, I thought. And I flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So he thought that I want my breakfast, so I will, if storm clouds are also there, I proceed. Because I want that breakfast with my family. Inside the cloud, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the plane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. Now he took the challenge of moving into the storm clouds. When he entered inside, everything was completely black. He could not see anything, and the compass was going on taking the rounds because it is dead. It was not showing the direction. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio to give some message that where he is. The radio also was not working. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. So he says that in that black clouds where nothing was working in my plane, he was completely disappointed. Then suddenly he saw one more aeroplane just beside his plane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turn towards me. So you could see the lights were not on, but he says I could see the plane. I could see the man sitting in the plane. I could see his face. His face was turned towards me perhaps. He says, I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. So that person lifted one hand and waved, and this man was very happy that someone is there to help him in the storm clouds. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. So perhaps when you speak, he won't be able to convey. So with the gestures, he told him that you follow me. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He's trying to help me. So he thought in himself that maybe this person knows that I am lost. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. Now he has turned his plane to the north. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. He had no other choice. He did not know the way. His compass was not working. His radio was not working. He is not able to see the way. Now he was like a blessing for him. So why will he not follow him? So when he went in front of him towards the north, he started to follow him. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Now he has taken him to the different direction. Now the fuel was only just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes he can use it. I was starting to feel frightened again. Again this man was frightened. If the fuel gets exhausted, what will happen? Okay. But then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. Now this man started to go down, his plane started to go down. So he also followed him. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw 2 straight lines in the lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. So you must have seen the airport. On the runway there will be 2 lines which the planes have to follow in between them. They have to take the plane to land it on the runway. So when he saw 2 lines and then he saw the lights too, he was very much relaxed that he has reached the airport. It was a runway which they have to go on. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anymore. So when he came to the runway, he just tried to find out the black aeroplane. He tried to see, but he did not find it. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. Not sorry means he thought it that I should go and ask. Maybe if he is little late also for his breakfast, he was not sorry for that. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. Now he went to the control room and he asked that particular lady that who was that other man who showed me the way. I want to thank that person. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in the storm. No other planes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So on the way your way, I could see only one plane in the sky. No other planes were there. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot of the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Now this is a mystery. Now who helped him? How did he come to that place? He took that much of courage to fly. Who really helped him? Was it his illusion? Was it really happened? God knows. So, but he says somebody helped me to come down to the runway safely back. So this is all about the chapter. Any doubts? Afterwards you can clear it, right? Thank you.